Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, the movie game adaptation that not a single person asked for. This is gonna be one of the cheapest, uninspired cash grabs of the year. It's made by Ubisoft. This thing is a reskinned Assassin's Creed with verse mechanics.
Hey, and we're back with another episode of Before You Buy, that show where we give you
Don't buy it.
some straight up gameplay and our first impressions of the latest games releasing. As usual, it's me, Jake, and today we're talking about Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora. Yes, the busy fall holiday gaming season isn't done yet. Squeaking out at the end of the year, it's this. The world of Avatar finally has a new game.
Does anyone notice the blurry blue thing around the screen of the edge for no reason, by the way? Why is it even there?
It's been a long time, and this one sets out to really recreate the experience of feeling like a Jake Sully.
Did that gunship just shoot 100 bullets and hit 0?
Like running around and spearing and gunning as a big blue person flying around, riding around in a lush, strange alien world. And ladies and gentlemen, I think they kind of nailed it. It's a flawed game with some...
The explosion happened, nothing happened. Dude, this is one of the worst things I have ever seen. And you know what's the craziest part? Avatar, not the good animated series of Aang, but Avatar, the Blue Smurf people version, it actually has a crazy cult following. Now, I said that no one wants this game, but the reality is that there's like a couple of hundred of people that really, really want this game. They wanna be a Na'vi because that's their biggest dream in their life. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. If you think Avatar, any single one of their movies was even remotely good, you have serious mental issues. I'm not gonna lie. Like, if you think that the movie series was good, you have issues, because the movie series makes sense on literally no level, okay? There is not a dimension where Avatar is explained as a good movie. And this game is the same thing.
things
I mean, just pay attention. Just pay slight attention here.
I didn't like, and it is very reliant on the Far Cry formula. This is a Ubisoft game through and through, with the ups and downs. But if you're
The enemy just teleported, by the way.
not sick of Far Cry style open world games, you can forgive some things, and maybe if you really love the Avatar movies, I think you'll have a good time messing around in this world. I wouldn't write this off. And just so you know, we've been playing a review.
By the way, this is not even a good reskin of Far Cry. This is like a reskin of Assassin's Creed if Assassin's Creed was a shooter.
Review copy from Ubisoft, and we've been playing on the PC version, so console performance is still to be determined. Also, of course, this video is spoiler free. Any of the cutscenes you see here are pretty early on. So this game takes place on Pandora after the events of the first movie. You and a group of Na'vi children are basically taken away from their homeland and raised in captivity by humans, like being taught human things for science or whatever. But once you come of age, stuff starts to fall apart because of the hell that Jake Sully and his company brought upon some of the humans in the world. So the corporations on the planet start to get a bit skittish, and basically you're kicked to the curb and end up escaping out into the world of Pandora. And from there, even though you are a natural-born Na'vi, you know the bare minimum about the world and the culture, so you kind of learn about these new regions and subcultures through the character's eyes. You create your own kind of male or female Na'vi character. There's not a lot of options, and a lot of them look pretty similar, but it's still a...
Dude, what is this?
Appreciate it, I guess. It's nice to have a character creator and kind of pick your
This looks so fugly.
patterns and your hairstyle. It's...
Imagine that this is the unironic dream of some people. I wanna be a Na'vi. No, seriously. Last video when we were laughing about this game, there were some people who got seriously mad. I did not even know that Avatar has such a dedicated, completely off-the-wall, crazy fan base. It was intense. Like, people were, oh, you don't even know that they used their hair to connect. It's not tails. How can you even talk about... God, I wish you the best, because you will never have a good life, okay?
It's really all about
Sad.
the gear you get in the game. Now, your character is pretty simple story-wise and kind of acts as just a vessel to you learning this world. They have some charm
Everything in this game is gonna be beyond simplistic.
here and there, but ultimately, a lot of the story is just characters standing there and saying a bunch of stuff to you.
Yeah, because what are they gonna do? The Na'vi have no culture. They make no sense.
It throws a lot of characters at you, and some of them kind of just fall to the wayside or you forget about them, but some of them are significant. It tries for some emotional beats, but most of it didn't land for me, except for a few big moments. That's one of my big negatives here, but it's just my personal reaction. I didn't find the through line of the story very interesting.
By the way, I can tell that he's sneaking. But you need to understand, you know, a 3-meter long blue thing is sneaking in the open green field. Yeah.
But I did enjoy seeing and learning about new regions and different Na'vi tribes that have their own distinct roles and characteristics. It was kind of cool.
None of the Na'vi tribes have any distinct roles and characteristics. All of their gimmick is literally, oh, I'm gonna interface with the ground through my ear, and we're gonna become one. Oh no, don't you hurt the planet, it's evil. Dude, do you know about the Na'vi newest Na'vi, but the Avatar newest movie, how little sense did that make? The Blue Sea Smurfs have a rule, the Blue Sea Smurf Veils have a rule of non-aggression. And the Blue Sea Smurf Veils are connected so intricately with the Blue Sea Smurf Na'vi that they are one, and they essentially, the Blue Sea Smurf Veil Na'vis think exactly like the Veils. And the Veils think that if you ever try to hurt anyone, you are instantaneously bad and should be exiled. So even if they're gonna die, they will never fight back. And that's what the blue Smurf water Na'vi think. Because they think the exact same way as the Veils, because they're so interconnected and whatnot. But the moment the humans endanger the Veils, the Na'vi say, yeah, you know those religious beliefs that we believed by? Yeah, we're throwing it out the way. We're killing stuff now, okay? We're killing. We're mass murdering, in fact, now. And the Veils are like, okay. Dude, nothing makes sense. Also, the Veils make humans immortal because reasons. From 1 to 10, I can't.
Cool. But I also like the movies, so I was going into it kind of hoping to see some fun new additions to the lore. They also tweak some things and kind of...
What lore? The lore that doesn't make sense?
Handwave or explain away some things. Maybe out of convenience's sake, I think the hardcore fan base is really going to be the decider of that. Still, some of the significance of the different Na'vi tribes here are very cool, specifically your character having their own kind of unique spin on one of the tribes in this world. It was just interesting. Where the game makes up for some of that lacking story stuff is the gameplay and the world. This rendition of Pandora is awesome. Like, it has tons of details, weird plants, little interactions.
It looks stupid.
Everywhere. The world reacts to you. Tons of stuff to hunt for.
The world doesn't react to you.
Or to better your character. All meaning like you're always stumbling upon a new place, like a weird tree or a waterfall or some new biome.
Everything looks the same.
With creepy looking plants. It has the rivers, the sky islands, all the stuff you'd expect from James Cameron's movie, as well as just some more lush jungles and forests and plains and biome variety. All of it looks and feels.
You can see literally textures, trees popping in and out. This game is as poorly optimized as, well, I don't know. I don't even have an example for how poorly optimized it is.
Feels exactly like
you can if you ever stop and look at the scenery like here,
forests and plains and
you look at that, you're just gonna constantly see things popping in left, right, and center. This is the game. Your scenery, when it's almost decent, half of it is gonna pop in at some point.
Biome variety.
It's insane.
All of it
look at this. Look at this. Again, he spent less than 2 seconds looking at the scenery and 2 separate things popped in. And at distance, it actually, while flying, it looks even worse. But it actually looks really bad.
And feels exactly like the movies. I'm amazed how they actually nailed it. The density is something else, and the game looks pretty gorgeous. In a rare brief before you buy shoutout, I have been capturing all of this footage on a Falcon Northwest Talon PC. Now, I usually build my own PCs, but I went with a pre-built here, and just saying, they did a really good job. Capture Beast for me. And now the game ran well on a high-end PC, but I was surprised how well it scaled when I ran the settings down to low. I still found the game to be surprisingly good-looking, and still had a lot of that density there. On most settings, I did have some noticeable pop-in from higher up, like the high views, and also the occasional...
By the way, what's wrong with him? What's the deal here? Can anyone explain? His shoulder's injured. Wow. So how about you walk or shit? How is it even injured?
Settings. I did have some noticeable pop-in from higher up, like the high views, and also the occasional open world Ubisoft glitch, like an NPC clipping or disappearing. But for me, in my experience, that was few and far between, at least. I would say nothing disastrous yet.
By the way, he just explained to you how bows work.
Again, I don't know how...
I mean, considering the Navi technological equivalent of a COD is literally a bow, I guess that makes sense. The Navi are idiots. The humans are the good guys in all of this, by the way. The Navi are just savage idiots that don't understand anything and deserve everything.
The console situation will be, I only had access to PC, so be vigilant and keep your eyes peeled upon launch. But what impressed me with the world detail and density was how it kept up with everything you're doing in it. Like, essentially...
This is a scripted segment, first of all.
Boil it down, it's kind of like Far Cry, but if you could run much faster and kind of jump and climb with the speed and fluidity of Mirror's Edge. Now, this isn't like a full-on parkour game, but you control your jumps by holding down the button, which feels really nice, and just like the distance and the hoppiness to it.
That did not feel nice at all.
It feels great and reminded me of Mirror's Edge. And then along with that, you're also bouncing on mushrooms and flinging yourself with giant leaves and catching vines in midair that zip you up to higher ground. And all of it feels really nice and like generous, making it easy.
All of that is irrelevant because you get access to flying. All the verticality, all the vines, all the shit is useless because you have access to just flying.
And fun and fluid to get around. Like, it's just a blast. And plus, when you get access to mounts, it makes it that much more enjoyable because there is a point where running around aimlessly did start to feel a bit tedious. And just when I started to feel that, I got access to the aerial mount. And that's where I thought like flying around or using animals would be pretty limited just because of how wacky the map is. But you can fly up really high, dive down, do barrel rolls, relatively land wherever you want. There's a surprising amount of freedom. And you can fire a weapon while flying. So, like, you're shooting arrows into helicopter rotors to take them down, and you can feel like an Avatar badass when it's all popping off. That's what I think Avatar fans are coming for.
By the way, the fact that in Avatar, unironically, a stick is stronger than metal is insane. And don't give me none of that, oh, but there's maybe the wood here is really... Then the humans would have put wood on their machines. But they didn't. Either way, it's stupid.
Or here, you know, that Avatar power fantasy.
Yeah, look at how bad this looks.
And it absolutely works. In between that, though, it's a lot of your typical video game crafting and hunting and harvesting and loot stuff we've seen a million times before. If you play a lot of games, you might feel a little been there, done that in certain aspects. At the very least, it feels a bit fresh here because your equipment is just so different and the stuff you're harvesting is like often weird bits of fruit or things that you have to manually...
He's not showing the harvesting, but the harvesting is literally a mini game. Shake the plant to get the plant. You can't just press X on a lot of things, okay? You need to shake the plant to get the plant. This is gonna be one of the most hilarious disasters ever. I am looking so much forward to this.
pull.
This is everything from Far Cry, from base assaults to whatnot, only it has nothing. I mean, if you remember, Ubisoft is unironically a AAA developer. Yeah, let that sink in. You think that Blizzard's doing a bad job? Dude, don't forget that Ubisoft exists. Yeah, they exist.
Through a minigame.
Jeez.
It feels fresh at first, but becomes the same tiresome, repetitive stuff after the first few hours. The most stuff
Everything here is gonna be repetitive.
is introduced. There is plenty to do and keep busy, though. There's a lot of side quests. I didn't jump into too many of them, to be completely honest, but the ones I did check out were mildly interesting, mostly simple, but had some
put your tail into that, whatever.
and dialogue and mini stories
Okay. It's here. It's here. Yeah, that changes much.
to them. The
That
other kind of issue
that changes everything. The fact that it's actually hair, not tail. I don't care.
is the combat. It's not bad, but I'm just not as much of a fan of the actual encounters themselves. The main thing is your bow of different varieties and ammo types. It feels decent. Not as strong as Far Cry, but it works well enough. Because you're so big, you're basically shooting javelins at little men. And you can feel the impact with like the sound of these arrows just slamming through a poor little
Wait, is the animation just always shit?
arrows just
Yeah, you can tell he's not even grabbing it. Yeah,
slamming
nice.
through a poor little 6-foot-tall guy. And the guns feel pretty solid too, with like a good heavy-duty like chunka to them, some real heft. Kind of really just fits, kind of works in that James Cameron sci-fi vibe. The battles themselves, though, are a bit chaotic and not as engaging as I'd like. They just feel kind of messy and weird. I'd loved upgrading my character to like rip dudes out of mechs.
I haven't heard, by the way, anything good about this game. Honestly, he hasn't said anything good about this game currently. It's all just like it's okay, but then it's a bunch of bad things with it. This is literally Starfield 2.0 defense right here. This is the same way that people are shilling for Starfield that it's a good game.
That is extremely satisfying, and I liked putting skill tree points into being less detectable.
But by the way, the bow thing is cool because he's right, by the way. You are literally shooting javelins with a bow on small, defenseless, primitive ape people by your standards.
In stealth, but unfortunately, I found the stealth way too limiting, and the enemies far too eagle-eyed for it to be much of a satisfying option. Like, there's just not much of a stealth system, even though the game is filled with those Ubisoft Far Cry-style bases begging to be taken out. It just didn't feel quite balanced right, and taking out bases, I never really could stealth them. It usually devolves into messy chaos where you attack some enemies, you get almost blown to bits, so you retreat to recover.
Yeah, and then you eat one of your 15 berries and restore all health.
Some health, and you run back in. It works, but I just wish there was a bit more to it. You get more tools as it goes, and you can lay traps and stuff, and again, there is a skill tree that gets you a couple nice benefits, but the moment-to-moment meat of it just didn't thrill me as much as I was hoping. Again, it works, it's playable. Some people might find it more fun than me. I just wish it was as fun as like running around and riding on beasts and discovering weird glowing caves and stuff. Just living in the world
That
of
would be
Avatar
better.
might be enough for some folks. That's where the game nails the feeling. The repetition and the combat issues don't completely tank the game, but your tolerance level may vary. I mean, the last Avatar game that came out in 2009 did not get like the greatest reviews or anything.
Yeah, because it was also very, very bad. I actually know what he's talking about. Dude, that game was shit. I think that was when TB was still alive, by the way. I think I watched his review of that. It was crazy bad.
The game had plenty of problems, but it made some fans of the movie really happy and they had fun. I think this time around, it's a much
Again, yeah, the fans of the movie are absolute wackos.
better go. So that's going to be good news to some people. What's not cool is that there's also like a microtransaction store on a full-priced $70 US game. I'm not a fan. It's mostly cosmetic stuff and little trinkets for a single-player game, but still, it's there and worth mentioning. They have expansion content apparently planned. That's something I'd be more interested in paying for in a store, but to get skins and stuff...
I'm gonna have such an absolute blast when this game comes out, and it's absolutely horrible. But a bunch of people are gonna be paid off to speak good things about this. I can't wait.
In a completely single player game, I just had to bring it up. Otherwise, this is very much, I guess, the definitive Avatar game. There's not really a lot out there, but Massive does a good job here. Massive, the developers really play to their strengths, specifically in the world detail and the density. And I love flying around and jumping off my Ikran and diving down and, you know, dodging. There's so much to it that is really cool, despite my complaints. I think it's just really going to depend on, like, you know,
this looks so boring.
Your tolerance level for certain types of video
games.
Okay.
Now it's better. Okay, let's see. Come on.
And how much you like James Cameron.
Okay, now it got boring again.
Avatar. I know there are plenty of people out there. I know there's an audience for this, and I'm just glad they didn't completely screw it up. If you
I hope at least you can screw with one of these Navi chicks.
The movies and you like some of the big moments of the movie, this game delivers. There's a couple of things that really made me smile when the music kicked in and a big scene happened. I got the feel. They nailed that. But again, this is a before you.
I wonder what's the big twist about the unique Navi tribes, because again, all of these Navi tribes are just stupid, okay? None of them are unique. None of them do anything. Their main shtick is, we put our tails into sky-flying thingamajiggies. And then there's one, yes, we do that, but with fish. What's next? Bugs? We saw some kind of stuff here where it looked like bugs. A flying bug? So maybe this unique Navi thing is, yes, we put our tails in bugs. Oh man, this is so stupid. God.
You know how this goes by now. I give you some pros, some cons, and a bunch of personal opinions.
Oh, he finally used the vision thing. Okay, you can spam this. It's essentially a wall hack. It shows you enemy weak points. It's so stupid. That's bad game design.
And a bunch of personal opinion. So let me know in the comments what you think. Have you been looking forward to this game? Are you one of the people that just doesn't really care about Avatar? Or are you one of the people that are absolutely in love with those big blue freaks? Let's talk anything Avatar for...
Now, I'm not gonna lie. If someone offered me a big blue mommy, I would say yes, please.
Tears of Pandora, and really the series in general, down in the comments. I want to hear from you guys. If you like this video and you like what we're doing here, just talking games and showing you gameplay and stuff.
By the way, all of this thing is essentially human bad because pollution. It's like, dude, they try so hard to actually make this look evil. Like, look at this. This makes no sense. There's some kind of thing going through there, and it's legitimately made to just pollute. It's like, there's no point to this thing other than it actually looks like it damages the environment. That's it. That's literally it. This is crazy.
Clicking the like button helps us out. We really appreciate that. And if you're new, consider subscribing, clicking the notification bell, checking out the description, hanging out, because we put out videos every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
Man. Anyway, that was from Gamer Ranks. I can't, dude. This Avatar stuff is just absolutely off the wall, boys. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be hilarious. Anyway, this was Quizzer Sensei. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.